Guys, I'm back and welcome back to the Summerslam review series, and today we are reviewing Summerslam 2001 and the fucking invasion angle. I know I've talked about this on the channel before. I've done Invasion 2001. If you haven't checked it out, check it on the channel. But I talked about it more there, how goofy the finish was and how the fucking angle was badly booked. You know, terrible. Looking at it back 16 years later, I still feel the same way as I did when I first watched the Invasion angle. I didn't like it. It completely fucking sucked. And it was just basically at the end, McMahon's versus McMahon's, Austin versus Rock. That's all it led to Survivor Series. It wasn't anything fucking important because we had The Rock. The leader of the WWF was The Rock, and the leader of the Alliance was fucking Austin. And that led to Austin v Rock at fucking Survivor Series, which obviously was a total clusterfuck. Not only that, but we didn't have any big names for WCW. And even we had a couple of big names for WWF, obviously, like Austin and Rock. They were the two big names for WWF, and also we had Kurt Angle. But WWF was even missing a couple of names. We didn't have Triple H or Shawn Michaels at this point. Mick Foley wasn't even wrestling at this point. He was part of the Invasion Angle for some point of things, but he was only there for the pay per view. He wasn't there to actually wrestle and to get involved in this. You had no Macho Man. He wasn't even going to align himself with WWF because in 2000 he did leave WCW. I thought maybe Vince should have brought him back to then help WWF. They didn't bring in Hogan. They didn't bring in Sting, Steiner, Flair. Well, Flair came in, but it was kind of like after Survivor Series, so the Attitude was nearly at its end. Well, it ended at Survivor Series, so at like early 2002, Flair came in. Same with like Hogan, Hall, and Nash. They all came in like 2002, and Steiner was like all three with Goldberg and stuff like that, and Sting obviously 2014. But like I said, they should. I mean, I just think, in my opinion, when Vince bought WCW, I just thought that he thought, got him. I beat my competition, and now I'm gonna do an invasion angle. And then the fans were like, okay, this is cool because we get to see a WCW guy on WWF TV. We never got to saw that in the Monday Night Wars, especially in the early '90s. In the late '90s, really, we never saw, a WCW guy invade a WCW guy because it was never really a thing. I know they did an invasion angle in '97 with ECW and the WWF. So I mean, that was okay, that invasion angle, what I saw. Because I wasn't even, I mean, I don't know what month that was, but I was like a baby then, so 97. But when I got to saw this invasion angle when I was 5 or whatever, I kind of got to see it for what it was, and yeah. So anyway, on to this SummerSlam pay-per-view. It was basically Lita. Well, actually, I'm not going to talk about that one because that was just a pre-show match. Forget what I just said. It's Edge versus Lance Storm for the IC title. Lance Storm is your Intercontinental Champion going into this. And I thought that this was a real good opener here. Lance Storm, in my opinion, I was never a big fan of Lance Storm. Like, in my opinion, I thought he was a good wrestler. But personality-wise, I could never buy him, really, to be honest with you. So he's like a whatever to me. Edge, great work from Edge, and also this will lead down the road to also him being a world champion. So Edge, and also that year he won King of the Ring, and also feuded Christian, where he was his kayfabe brother, and they dropped. And then I find it funny because when Christian came back to WWE in 2009, they said he's his best friend, but in 2001, wasn't he his brother? Where's the logic behind that? I don't know. Anyway. Edge wins anyway, and he's your new IC champion. Good opener here, and I liked it. Good opener. I thought it was a good way to start off the show. Then we have Test and the Dudleys. Test and the Dudleys defeat Spike Dudley in the APA. This was at the time when Test turned on the WWF and went with the Alliance. He said it in his interview before the match that he turned on the WWF because he was constantly getting his ass whooped by the Alliance, and he obviously wanted to be with them, and obviously the WWF guy wasn't going to save him or whatever, so he aligned himself with the Alliance, yeah, and I thought that this was a decent match. Team 3D and Test get the win, good match. Then we have a WCW Cruiserweight and a WWF Lightweight match. It was a kind of a dual title match here. So we had X-Pac defending his Cruiserweight title, and we had Tajiri defending his Lightweight title. Now, the Lightweight title was obviously WWF's way of having the Cruiserweight division before they even had the Cruiserweight division. That was their Lightweight division. So they had a Lightweight division, and obviously WCW had their Cruiserweight division. So it was a good match. X-Pac gets the win. Well, not X-Pac. I mean, Tajiri gets the win, and he is your new Cruiserweight champion, and he retains his Lightweight title. Albert or Tensai, whatever you want to call him these days, he was on the ramp, and he was trying to like distract Tajiri, but Tajiri was having none of that, and he was like spitting mist in his face. Then X-Pac. X-Pac did win. What the fuck am I talking about? He's fucking here. What I wrote down. X-Pac defeats Tajiri with the X Factor. So ignore what I said. X-Pac did win that match. I know. What the fuck was I reading? Chris Jericho. And then we had Chris Jericho versus Rhino. This had a pretty good build to it, I guess. Obviously, it was another WWF guy, an Alliance guy. Jericho defeats Rhino. Jericho got a good match with the Rhino, and that's all I'm going to say there. RVD versus Jeff Hardy for the WWF hardcore title in a ladder match. These two guys had a really good to awesome match. I thought that obviously anytime that you have an RVD and Jeff Hardy in a ladder match, you're gonna have good stuff. It wasn't like great as like the TLC match I saw at SummerSlam 2000, but it was a good to awesome match. I'm not gonna complain about it. And RVD won the hardcore title, and he is your new hardcore champion. We had the Brothers of Destruction versus DDP and Chris Kanyon for the WCW titles and the WWF titles. They were holding both belts at the time. Kanyon and DDP. This was the time when obviously the famous who's stalking Undertaker's wife, and obviously it was DDP. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about this that much. Yeah, you guys know what happened. DDP got buried in that feud, and yeah, it was weird. And even DDP WWE fucking sucked. Like, you look at him from WCW and how established he was before he came to WWF. He was feuding with Macho Man. He was feuding with the NWO. He was feuding with, all the main eventers in WCW. And then the WWF brings him in after WCW closes its doors, and then they feud him with the Undertaker. I was like, okay, pretty cool. He's still getting that main event spot like he had in WCW, but he has a fucking stalker storyline. A stalker's storyline. What? And he, not only that, he gets to having great feuds in WCW to basically getting buried in WWE. He didn't last long in WWE. He had like 2 or 3 years in WWE, and he fucking left for TNA. And he like kind of retired after that, so whatever. But yeah, WWE fucking ruined WWE ruined DDP. WWE DDP sucked. WCW DDP was fucking awesome, man. Like, you go back to like 97 and like 2000, maybe 2001 of DDP, like before before his WWF days, and you'll see a fucking awesome fucking main event guy. But here it was just fucking him getting buried to the Undertaker. Now, no offense, he was in a high profile match, he probably thought, but he's getting buried. Here's the guy that they just brought in from WCW, and they buried him. I know that the time was that, oh, he's the enemy, and I know that they felt that way back then, but you've buried a great talent. I don't get it. But anyway, that's my mini DDP ran over. And then after that, we had Kurt Angle versus Steve Austin for the WWF title. Steve Austin was the champion. Obviously, this was his worst heel turn. Oh, that's goofy ass heel turn. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that heel turn either, because that'll get me onto another rant, so I'm not even going to start with that. Just no. So anyway, this was a good match. They brawl into the crowd, onto the outside. Ends in kind of like a disqualification. Austin gets himself disqualified. Kurt Angle wins by DQ, obviously, like I said. And that was it. It was a good match, but I didn't care for the Stone Cold heel turn at the time, and I still think it was just a stupid ass decision to turn one of the two top babyfaces in your company at the time heel. I know Austin wanted a character change, but turning yourself heel when you're a red hot babyface like Steve Austin was in like the Attitude Era was a fucking dumb decision. I know we probably thought it was gonna work like it did with Hogan in '96, but it wasn't gonna work. It worked with Hogan, yeah, but it wasn't gonna work with fucking Austin because everybody liked fucking Austin because Austin was this guy that was anti-authority. He didn't care. He was like kind of like a tweener anyway. He wasn't he was a face. He was a natural face. Now he wouldn't have fit the heel role, and you know they tried the heel thing with Austin, but it lost them a shit load of money. I mean, that year, WWF lost a shitload of money because of Steve Austin's fucking heel turn. I mean, if they didn't turn him heel and actually left him as a babyface and actually tweaked his character without turning him heel, they would have actually maybe retained some of that money they fucking lost. Just my opinion. I think turning Austin heel and that stupid invasion angle and everything else what was stupid in 2001, like, not buying WCW. I mean, I guess now, yeah, buying WCW was a kind of a stupid idea. Everything in 2001 sucked because you had the death of WCW and an ECW, so that means there was no competition for the WWF, and obviously many years later now, in 2017, they are so fucking lazy that they don't want to change the product. So you had basically no competition for WWF. You know, TNA didn't come for another year, so it was hard for basically wrestlers at that time in 2001 to actually get work if they weren't going to get hired by WWF. Some of them retired or had to like get other jobs because, you know, Ring of Honor wouldn't start for another year or TNA wouldn't start for another year. I mean, obviously they had, you know, New Japan to go to, but obviously maybe some of them didn't want to go to New Japan. You know, it is what it is. And I always said that the death of WCW is kind of a death on the wrestling business because that made a big gaping hole in professional wrestling for many years, and it's going to haunt WWF, WWE, and it still does. 16 years later, it's haunting them because they have no competition to go between and stuff. Like, you know, you can say UFC, but they're not a WCW, they're not an ECW where people were fucking red hot with those crowds. Just my opinion on that, and like, if Eric Bischoff did buy WCW, I mean, would things be a bit different now? Would WCW still be competition to the WWF today? Probably. Would TNA actually ever exist? Would Ring of Honor ever exist? Who knows? But yeah. Anyway, on to the last match of the night. We had The Rock defeating Booker T for the WCW World Title. This was a good match here. Rock was with the Rock Bottom, and then we had the Alliance, not the Alliance, the WWF guys celebrating backstage. Shane also in this match took a bump like I thought he would have done anyway, but like I said, Rock wins, and that was it for SummerSlam 2001. And all I've got to say is, I hated SummerSlam 2001. I didn't like the show. I just didn't like it because it was so fucking, booking wise was stupid, but match wise it was good, if you guys know what I mean. Just 2001 WWF, especially after WrestleMania 17. Like, I would say WrestleMania 17, after WrestleMania 17, it was like, woo! And then they would have like a period where they would go up again. But SummerSlam 2001 was a absolute fucking sucked. I hated it. I didn't like it. And yeah, that's my review of SummerSlam 2001, guys. Hope you guys like this video, and remember to check out the other SummerSlam reviews in the playlist down below, guys. Check out my Twitter, follow me, oh yeah, I said that, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll check you later.